It's one of my favorite times of the year. It's getting to be October, and that means we have another Hacktoberfest. This one's particularly interesting for a couple reasons. It's the 10th anniversary. The rewards are changing a little bit, and a couple other things. So let's dive into that right now. As always, you can find the information for Hacktoberfest at hacktoberfest.com. That'll take you to a page like this. We have just under 4 days left on our countdown until Hacktoberfest begins. So if you're planning on participating as a maintainer, make sure that you've added the Hacktoberfest label to your project and familiarize yourself with kind of how to maintain an open source project and get community involvement, responding to issues, that type of thing. There's information here on how to participate, as always. But let's call out the 10th anniversary. So I've been doing Hacktoberfest for 6 years now, I think. And I've got stickers, digital rewards, and t-shirts and stuff from previous Hacktoberfest, which is really exciting. That changes a little this year, though. So let's see. It's mentioned somewhere on here. Oh, maybe not. It's on another page, though, and we'll find it. Hacktoberfest. Oh, wait. Yeah, here it is right here. So I love the exclusive t-shirts that you get for being one of the first 50,000 to complete the Hacktoberfest challenge. They had 147,000 participants last year. They've had some issues sending t-shirts to other countries and having people pay customs taxes and tariffs and things that might even be more than what the t-shirt is worth. So with a mix of that, it being a logistical challenge and probably a little bit of sustainability as well, they're moving away from the free t-shirt reward to an exclusive digital reward. So there's more information on it here if you want to learn more about the digital rewards. One of the key things is that there's no t-shirt this year. Just calling that out one more time. And you will instead get just the digital reward kit. What's new is they're teaming up with HoloPen to provide a digital badge, not an NFT, kind of like maybe kind of similar from a presentation perspective, but not anything on the blockchain, nothing like that. Just a digital badge. And I don't mean that to downplay the HoloPen thing. It looks really neat, but I just wanted to stress the fact that it's not like an NFT or anything like that. So so there's a digital reward kit in partnership with HoloPen. You get that cool badge that kind of changes based off of your participation, which is cool. So the more you participate, the more involved, I would assume, your badge is going to be. But it will for sure change based off your participation, which is awesome. I think I have a HoloPen account. I'll pull that up in just a second. We can look at last year's badge because I'm pretty sure they gave me one too. Let's see. So yeah, to celebrate, participants will also be able to share their winner's badge on the HoloPen Hacktoberfest Badge Board of Fame. So in the previous years, they did this as well. So if you didn't want a t-shirt, you could opt to have a tree planted instead, which is really cool. This year, they're excited that we'll be purchasing a tree for the first 50,000 participants that complete their first PR or merge request. So you don't even have to complete all 4 for the tree to be planted or purchased, I should say. And instead, you just have to finish 1 pull request or merge request and be one of the first 50,000 people. So good news is we're probably going to get 50,000 trees out of this, which is exciting. Just some more information. There's an advisory council. I think they've had this for a while now. You can see some of the people on the advisory council, learn more about them, kind of see some of their links, which is pretty cool. Their sponsors. I'm not going to shell out for all these sponsors, but I am going to mention a couple really quickly. DigitalOcean started this whole thing. They're a company that has done a lot of good in the open source community. So I'm just going to call them out for really pushing this. I don't know Illa Cloud. I'm not sure what that is. It's an open source low code developer tool with AI agent features. Cool. You can learn more about the sponsors here. And then the last one that I'm going to call out, I think, is AppWrite. AppWrite's been a pretty strong sponsor, one of the bigger sponsors for the past couple of years. It's a back-end platform for developing apps. So if you build front-end apps like web, mobile, Flutter, etc., you can use AppWrite as a backend, kind of a competitor in some ways to like Firebase or Supabase. There's more stuff here. GitHub and GitLab are the two platforms that you can do pull request and merge requests on. So they're called out here. Dev's done something in the past. Yeah. So I don't. If you've never done Hacktoberfest, it's probably one of my favorite open source things. A lot of people start contributing to open source for the first time during Hacktoberfest. Some other people, like myself, try to branch out and contribute to other repositories outside of just the stuff that I've been maintaining, which is really exciting. And then also maintainers are generally pretty, like, this is, I would say, the time that they're the most receptive to new contributors and external pull requests from people that aren't regularly contributing. A lot of projects are always open to that, and I'm sure most are. But the point that I'm getting at is like everyone, not everyone, but most people are kind of in this mindset of there are people who want to contribute to open source and we want to help them. So there's a lot of blog posts that'll be out about this. Dev, I mentioned them earlier. They have a lot of blog posts and people talking about their contributions to Hacktoberfest and what that experience is like. Just really a lot. So yeah, this is Hacktoberfest this year. Let's see. I think everything's on this page. So if you want to learn more about anything in particular, you can go to hacktoberfest.com and then click in through the headers up here to find whatever information you're looking for. I guess one thing we haven't talked about, sorry, there's two different headers. There's this page specific header and then there's the site specific header. So there's different tabs here. You can find events. Some people host events. I don't have any local to me, unfortunately, that I know of. But some people will get together and usually some more senior engineers will kind of help people figure out how to make their first merge or pull requests into open source, which is really exciting. They're partnering with Major League Hacking this year to help set up events. MLH does hackathons, or at least they did last time I ran into them. So they may have changed a little bit, but their hackathons were really well organized. So if they're helping organize events for Hacktoberfest, I would assume that they're going to be pretty well organized here as well. If you want to be an event organizer, they've got a kit to help you out, which is exciting. And then if you want to organize a Hacktoberfest event, they've got like a little checklist of things that you can go through, which is nice. More information. Hacktoberfest is primarily online, but you can run in-person events, host your event online or in person. They also have a code of conduct that they would like for people to include. You might have to include it for it to be illegal, like a Hacktoberfest official event. It's a good code of conduct. It is focused on making sure people feel welcome. And just read that if you're interested in figuring out more about Hacktoberfest's code of conduct, or if you're running an event, you should be aware of that. There's some information on how to promote your event, things to tweet or X. I'm not really sure what we're calling that anymore. Logos, branding, fun stuff like that. So you can use some of their logos and brand assets for your meetup and content as long as you follow their guidelines. Again, at the top, if you want to donate, you can donate. So they have a tool to help you find open source projects that you can donate to, which is really great. A lot of really important projects are funded openly. And then there's some sponsors. You can see more projects, find things that use GitHub sponsors so that you could sponsor open source. This isn't donating to Hacktoberfest. This is donating to open source projects. More information about Hacktoberfest, the lore of Hacktoberfest, which it's kind of interesting. I guess lore is an appropriate term. And then this video that I'm not going to play here. You can watch that on your own term. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of Hacktoberfest. So if you've never done it, it involves signing up, which there will be a link to sign up in just a couple days. And you sign up on their website, you connect your GitHub or your GitLab account, and then when you contribute to repositories that are Hacktoberfest repositories, not like owned by the company or anything, but there's a label that's attached to them called Hacktoberfest. When you contribute to those and that pull request or merge request starts to count towards your progress. And once you hit certain progress milestones, in the past it was 4. The only thing I've seen this year was literally mentioning one pull request for the trees, but I'm assuming it'll be oh, yep, here we go. 4 pristine pull merge requests. So yeah, again, you're shooting for 4 pull requests or merge requests into Hacktoberfest labeled repositories. If you do that, you succeed. You get your digital rewards kit. There's probably some coupons in there, some other fun stuff to kind of help you offset some of the cost of some of these services if you want to hack around on them, like AppWrite. They did something last year. Probably will do it again this year. Um, and yeah, I guess just one thing to call out, like the point of Hacktoberfest is to get people contributing in open source, but it's also to get people trying to do meaningful contributions in open source. And you'd be shocked at what is considered meaningful. They don't have to be massive pull requests. They can be very small. Sometimes it's as simple as adding a test case or changing, some string formatting or something like that. Localization, helping with translations. That type of stuff is really valuable. Adding a blank line to a pull request is not. So things like that can be marked as spam. And I would assume it's the same this year, but last year, if you had too many pull requests marked as spam by the maintainers, you would be banned from finishing Hacktoberfest that year. So you would get no rewards. You would. It wasn't a good thing to be stuck in. So again, the goal is to contribute more to open source and to have meaningful contributions into open source. So don't cheese it. Don't add blank lines to repos and things like that. They should get marked as spam, and if they don't get marked as spam, then it's just unfortunate. It kind of devalues Hacktoberfest for everyone who's putting forth effort and trying to make open source a better community. Okay, that's about it. This has been going on much longer than I thought, so I'll wrap up. As always, you know what to do. There's a like button, a bell, and a subscribe button. So if you found this valuable and you want to learn more about programming events, Golang, TypeScript, Dart, Flutter, that type of stuff, it's kind of my bread and butter at the moment. Hit those, and you will be notified of new videos. All right. Enjoy Hacktoberfest and happy hacking.